There's something I need to tell you, and every word matters. You didn't find this message by accident. I brought you here because what I'm about to release into your life has been waiting for the perfect moment, and that moment is now. You've felt it, haven't you? That stirring in your spirit, that sense that something is shifting, that awareness deep within you that whispers things are about to be different. You're not imagining it. That's the sound of heaven moving on your behalf. For longer than you realize, you've been praying for change, asking for breakthrough, crying out for something to shift in your circumstances. And while you've been praying, I've been preparing. While you've been asking, I've been arranging. While you've been waiting, I've been working behind scenes you cannot see, orchestrating events and aligning circumstances that will soon become visible in your reality. What you're about to receive isn't just an answer to one prayer. It's the culmination of every tear you've cried, every night you've endured, every moment you've chosen to believe when everything screamed to give up. It's the harvest of seeds you planted in seasons of pain, watered with faith you barely had, tended with hope you struggled to maintain. But here's what you need to understand before it arrives. What's coming will change everything, not just your circumstances, not just your situation. Everything about how you see yourself, how you understand your purpose, how you navigate relationships, how you steward resources, how you walk out your faith. This isn't a small adjustment. This is complete recalibration of your entire existence. Subscribe now, because what I'm revealing will anchor you through the transformation ahead. You've been living in a version of your life that was never meant to be permanent, operating in a season designed to prepare you, not define you, functioning in limited capacity because you weren't ready for what I was holding. But preparation has an expiration date, and yours is approaching its end. Not because you failed, but because you endured. Not because you earned it, but because it's time. What you're about to receive is not something external that you add to your current life. It's something internal that transforms your entire life. I'm not just giving you a blessing. I'm giving you a new way of being. Not just changing your circumstances. I'm changing you at the core of who you are. You've been asking me for provision, and I'm giving you that. But more than provision, I'm giving you the mindset of abundance. You've been asking for healing, and I'm giving you that. But more than healing, I'm giving you wholeness that affects every area. You've been asking for breakthrough, and I'm giving you that. But more than breakthrough, I'm giving you the character to sustain what comes after breakthrough. Because here's what most people don't understand about receiving from me. What you receive will only stay if you're ready to steward it. I don't give you things so you can go back to who you were. I give you things that require you to become who I'm calling you to be. The blessing I'm releasing will stretch you. It will challenge you to think bigger than you've ever thought. It will require you to step into levels of faith you haven't walked in before. It will demand that you let go of old patterns, old mindsets, old securities that kept you comfortable but kept you small. What you're receiving will make you uncomfortable before it makes you comfortable. It will require sacrifice before it brings increase. It will test your commitment before it rewards your faithfulness. But every uncomfortable moment is preparing you. Every sacrifice is positioning you. Every test is proving you ready for what's coming. I know you've been through seasons of waiting that felt endless, periods of silence that felt like abandonment, stretches of struggle that made you question if I heard you. But I was never absent. I was always present, always working, always preparing both you and what I was preparing for you. The waiting wasn't wasted. The silence wasn't punishment. The struggle wasn't evidence of my displeasure. It was all part of the process of getting you ready for what you're about to receive. Because what's coming is bigger than what you asked for, better than what you imagined, more comprehensive than what you could conceive. You asked for a job. I'm giving you a career. You asked for income. I'm giving you wealth-building opportunities. You asked for healing. I'm giving you health that radiates. You asked for a relationship. I'm giving you divine connections. You asked for peace. I'm giving you unshakable joy. But receiving this requires something from you. It requires that you release your grip on what hasn't worked. Let go of relationships that drain rather than sustain. Surrender strategies that kept you safe but kept you stuck. Abandon mindsets that protected your ego but limited your potential. What you're about to receive won't fit into your current life structure. It's too big. It requires expansion. It demands that you make room by releasing what currently fills the space. And I know that's scary. I know it feels risky to let go before you can see what's coming. But that's where trust becomes tangible. That's where faith becomes functional. I'm asking you to open your hands, unclench your fists, release your white-knuckle grip on what you've been holding. Not because what you're holding is bad, but because I can't fill hands that are already full. I can't give you new wine if you're still clutching old wineskins. I can't pour fresh oil into containers that are already occupied. What you're receiving will change your relationships. Some people who were with you in the last season won't understand this new season. Some connections that made sense before won't make sense anymore. Some relationships that worked when you were in preparation won't work when you step into purpose. And that's okay. That's part of the process. I'm not taking people away to hurt you. I'm reassigning relationships to position you. Some are meant for seasons, not lifetimes. Some were sent to get you through a specific phase, not to accompany you through every phase. Honor what they were for the season they were in, but don't try to force them into seasons they weren't designed for. What you're receiving will change how you see yourself. You've been defining yourself by your struggles, your failures, your limitations. But I'm about to reintroduce you to your true identity. Not who pain made you, not who trauma shaped you to be, but who I created you to be before the world told you who to be. You're about to discover gifts you didn't know you had, strengths you didn't realize existed, capabilities you never explored, authority you never exercised. All of it has been dormant, waiting for this moment when I activate what I placed inside you before you were born. What you're receiving will change your daily rhythms. Patterns that worked before won't work anymore. Schedules that made sense previously will need adjustment. Priorities that seemed right will need reordering. Because what's coming requires different disciplines, different focus, different dedication. You'll need to protect your mornings differently. Guard your energy more carefully. Be selective about your commitments more intentionally. Not because you're becoming exclusive or elite, but because you're stewarding something valuable that requires intentional boundaries. What you're receiving will change your thought patterns. Mindsets rooted in scarcity will shift to abundance thinking. Perspectives shaped by fear will transform into faith-filled vision. Mental frameworks built on limitation will restructure around possibility. This won't happen overnight, but it will happen consistently as you cooperate with my work in you. Old thoughts will try to reassert themselves. Familiar doubts will knock on the door of your mind. Historical insecurities will attempt to reclaim territory. but you'll have new weapons to combat them, new truth to counter them, new authority to silence them. What you're receiving will change your prayer life. You'll stop begging and start declaring. Stop pleading and start decreeing. Stop hoping and start knowing. Not from arrogance, but from understanding your position as my child. Not from presumption, but from confidence in my character. Your prayers will carry different weight because you'll pray from a different place. Not from desperation, but from assurance. Not from fear, but from faith. Not as a beggar, but as a son, as a daughter who knows their father's heart. What you're receiving will change your generosity. When you were in lack, you couldn't give freely. When you were in struggle, you had to protect what little you had. But when abundance flows, generosity becomes natural. When provision is consistent, giving becomes joyful. I'm not blessing you so you can hoard. I'm prospering you so you can distribute, increasing you so you can multiply blessings to others. What flows to you is meant to flow through you. You're not a reservoir meant to store, but a river meant to channel my goodness to those downstream from you. What you're receiving will change your testimony. You won't just have a story of survival anymore. You'll have a story of revival, not just a testimony of barely making it, a testimony of thriving, not just a witness of holding on, a witness of breaking through. And your testimony won't just encourage others. It will provoke faith in them. It will activate hope in them. It will demonstrate to them that if I did it for you, I can do it for them. Your breakthrough becomes the evidence that breakthrough is possible. But here's what you need to know about the transition from where you are to where you're going. There will be a gap, a space between the promise and the manifestation, between the word spoken and the word fulfilled, between the release in heaven and the arrival on earth. In that gap, your faith will be tested. Your commitment will be challenged. Your patience will be stretched. Everything in you will want to go back to what was familiar, retreat to what was safe, return to what was comfortable. But you cannot go back. You've come too far, endured too much, believed too long to quit in the gap. The gap is where most people lose what was promised, not because I withdrew it, but because they withdrew from the process. They saw the delay and interpreted it as denial. They experienced the wait and assumed it was a no. They felt the tension and thought it meant they missed it. But the gap is not evidence that nothing is happening. The gap is where everything is happening, where final preparations are being made, where last obstacles are being removed, where perfect timing is being established. What feels like delay is actually divine precision, ensuring everything arrives exactly when it should. So in the gap, keep believing, keep declaring, keep acting in faith, keep moving forward even when you can't see the path. Keep trusting even when circumstances suggest otherwise, because what I promised is already in motion, and nothing can stop it now except your agreement with doubt. What you're about to receive will change everything, but the change begins with you receiving it, not just hoping for it, not just wishing for it, but actively receiving it, opening your heart to believe it's real, opening your hands to accept it when it comes, opening your life to accommodate it when it arrives. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not next week, not when everything feels perfect. Now, while you're reading these words, while you're feeling that stirring, while you're sensing that this is different, receive what I'm releasing, believe what I'm declaring, accept what I'm giving. Don't let this moment pass because you're analyzing it too much. Don't miss this because you're questioning whether you deserve it. Don't reject this because you think you're not ready. You wouldn't be here reading this if you weren't ready. I don't bring you to doors I'm not ready to open. I don't show you possibilities I'm not ready to make actual. What you're about to receive will change everything. Your finances will shift. Your relationships will transform. Your health will improve. Your mind will clear. Your purpose will activate. Your joy will return. Your peace will settle. Your strength will multiply. Your faith will soar. This is not wishful thinking. This is prophetic declaration. This is not positive affirmation. This is divine appointment. This is not motivational speech. This is heaven's announcement that your season is changing, your story is shifting, your life is transforming. Receive it. Believe it. Walk into it. What I've promised is already yours. What I've prepared is already released. What I've declared is already done. Now it's just a matter of time before what's already yours in heaven manifests in your earth. And that time is shorter than you think.